Okay, so I'm back for another quick video. I want to do the muzzle flash. I'm basically following another tutorial by a channel called Gabriel Aguiar Productions. Um, so first I'm going to go into my project. In the particles folder, I'm going to create another folder called muzzle flash. And I'm going to open that up. I'm going to right click and create a Niagara system, and I'm going to, instead of choosing one from here, I'm just going to create an empty, and I'm going to name it Muzzle Flash underscore NS for a Niagara system, and I'll just open that up. I'll dock it at the top here. I'm going to right click. I'm going to add emitter, and I'm going to add completely empty. Add. The renderer, I'm going to add a mesh renderer. As you can see, there's no mesh, so you're not seeing anything, so I'm going to create a mesh. And under emitter update, I'm going to create a spawn burst instantaneous. So for now, I'm just going to save, and I'm going to go into Blender real quick. So here, I'm going to delete the cube. I'm going to import my gun, because I need it as a reference. Oops. Okay. I'm just going to move this over here. What I want to do is I want to create a plane. I want to size it down. First I want to go into edit mode. I want to select these two vertices, and then I'm going to right click, and I want to say cursor to selected. So this cursor that was in this zero, like world origin, it's between these two vertices now. So I can go back to object mode. So as you can see, like the pivot is right here, but if I right click, I can set origin to 3D cursor. Now the pivot is where the cursor is. Now I can set snap cursor to world origin. So the cursor is back, but the pivot is here now. So I'm going to geometry, set origin, geometry to origin. Oh no, that's wrong. snap selection to cursor. Okay, so this is what I need. So the muzzle flash, I want to make it nice and big. It's a shotgun muzzle flash. I looked it up online, some YouTube videos or whatever. And it wasn't terribly big, but just making it big for the sake of the game, it just adds to it visually, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rotate. So copy, duplicate, and rotate, and then I want to go to actually before I want to undo that. So I want to go to editing mode or UV editing mode, and select the face, and if I go to vertices mode, vertex mode, this the muzzle flash, I want to be coming out of the muzzle going this way. So as you can see, I have these two vertices selected, but these vertices are down here. But I would like it to be, I'm going to turn on snap, rotate, so that when I rotate it, you're going to see a number here in the top left corner. And I want to rotate it 90 degrees. It snaps every 5 degrees, so as you can see, top left it says rotation 90. I'm going to leave it there. So if I select these two verts now, these two verts are selected. So I'm gonna, when I paint the image in my photo editor, I'm going to use a painted image for the muzzle flash. It's going to start from the left, and it's going to go right. It's going to point this way. So with that UV laid out, now I can go back to UV mode, or layout. And I'm going to shift D to duplicate, and then I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees, and this is going to be, actually I'll just join with both of these, and I'm going to create a circle. I'm going to go to edit mode, and with all the edges, I'm going to right click new face from edges. I'm going to go into face mode, right click, or I'm going to go up here, and on face, I'm going to poke faces. I'm going to quickly go back to object mode. I'm going to rotate this -90, and I'm going to size this down so that it's closer to the size of the two planes. I'm going to go back into edit mode, and under face mode I'm going to extrude straight, and I'm going to make this smaller. But there's overlapping faces, so I need to get rid of some of these. Switch faces. Make this really small. So when it gets to about the size of the muzzle hole, make it about that size, and I'll delete it. And then I'm gonna subdivide this, and I'm gonna start I'm gonna start making a cone. Give it a subdivision. I'm gonna quickly hop into UV editing mode, and with all the faces selected, I'm going to just gonna unwrap, and I just want it to fill the entire thing, as long as it's like right to the edges. So that's good. So I'm just gonna save this file first. So particles, muzzle flash. Let's call this muzzle flash geo. So with this cone selected, I'll export it as mesh. This will be called muzzle flash cone. And this one will be called muzzle flash plane. So the guy, the channel that I saw this from, he does it the exact same way. I'm basically copying him because it's a really good method. I'm not just like relying on a particle emitter. I think it's kind of cool just to use like planes, like geometry and images. Okay, so with that created, oh, one thing I forgot is I need to apply rotation and scale, apply rotation and scale. So I'm going to export these once more, sorry. FBX, plane, export FBX, muzzle flash cone. Okay. So back to Unreal. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to import the two geometries, or the two meshes that I just created. So open, import. Okay, so back in the first, I'll save it. Back in the Niagara system, I'm going to select the mesh renderer, and I'm going to select, I'm going to drop this down, and I want to look for a muzzle flash plane. Muzzle flash plane. Right now, I don't know why. Okay, initialize, where's the initialize? Okay, so under particle spawn, I need to press the plus button, and I need to look for initialize particle. So under lifetime, I'm going to press this little thing here, and I'm going to type in random. Oh, sorry, no. Lifetime mode is going to be random. And then the lifetime min is going to be 0.1. And the lifetime max is going to be 0.2. I still don't see my mesh for some reason. Okay, I'm not sure why. The particle update. Scale, mesh, size. sorry, it was under particle update. I press this button and get scale mesh size. And under scale factor, I need to press this here. I'm getting a vector from float. I'm going to press this here, and I'm going to click the curve. Guess it's this one. And then I'm going to click on this. So right now it's sloping down, I need to slope up. I still don't see my geometry. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, so under initialize particle, mesh, under mesh scale mode, I need to select random non-uniform, and then the values that he had was 0.8 to 1.2, 1.5 to 2, 0.8 to 1.2. Okay, so I'm going to save this for now. I don't know why my mesh is invisible. So cone is only visible on one side. Oh, maybe this could be muzzle flash plane. Okay, I'm just going to leave that for now. I'm going to hop into my photo editing program, and I'm going to create a new image. Could be 1000 by 1000, and I'm going to quickly paint the muzzle flash texture. I'm just going to drag some guides. So there's one about halfway. So this is 1000 wide, 1000 high. So I'm just lining it up with the 500 up here. Now I'll drag one down from here and line it up with 500. If you look right here, this says 500. Okay, so for the first one, I'll just start off. The way he did it was he just used like a really light gray, and he started off by creating a simple shape like this. That's like really ugly, but use the eraser tool. Start shaping it with the eraser. So the muzzle flash is going to go from left to right, so I always envision this part being fatter than this one. Add more meat here and start erasing again. That's enough. I'm going to delete this top one. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to rotate, scale, duplicate this, about there, duplicate, that about there. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this was. Muzzle flash cone .png. I'm gonna hide these. This one's gonna be muzzle flash plain.png. Then I'll save this whole GIMP file. Muzzle flash color. Okay. So I'm gonna close this file. Go back to Blender or Unreal, and I'm going to import the images. Oh, I should rename these. The images that I created, they have the same names as the mesh, so it's asking me if I want to replace the mesh with the images, and the answer is no. So I'm going to go back into Muzzle Flash. I'm going to rename this to cone, Muzzle Flash cone color, and this one to Muzzle Flash plain color. So if I try to import again, it shouldn't give me any issues. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm gonna, first I'll save everything. That's a good thing to do. And I'm going to right click, create a material called Muzzle Flash Cone Nut. Create another material called Muzzle Flash underscore plain nut. I'm just going to open up both. So, need a particle color. I'm just going to leave it black. And I'm going to get a texture sample. First, this has to be, the blend mode has to be translucent, and it has to be unlit. And for the texture sample, this is the cone, so I need to get the cone, muzzle flash cone color. And I need two multipliers. Multiply, just copy and paste. So the RGB times RGB, and alpha times alpha, and I'm going to plug this one into emissive color. So instead of going into base color, it's going to go into emissive color. The alpha is going to be opacity. There we go. We'll save that. And I'm going to go into the plane, do the exact same thing. So blend mode is translucent, and blend mode is unlit, or shading lit. Shading model is unlit. Particle color, I'll leave it black. Texture sample. For the texture sample, I'm going to select the plain muzzle flash plain color. And get a multiplier. Copy, paste. RGB times RGB. And alpha times alpha. First one goes into emissive color, and the second one goes into opacity. So now I have one nice muzzle flash texture. And I'm going to save that. And I guess I can close both materials. I'll go back here in the mesh renderer. I'm going to enable material override. Override materials. I need to add one, so I need to press this plus button. And I'm going to drop this down. Here I'm going to select muzzle flash plane. Okay, so whenever you see this warning, just press fix issue, and now it should play. It wasn't visible before. It's not playing for some reason. Bring this all the way back to 1 second. One thing I forgot is I need to open up these materials again. For both of these, I just need to click two-sided. Save that. I do the same for this one. Two-sided. Save. these two materials. Okay, so I figured out why I can't see it. And this spawn burst instantaneous. By default, the spawn time is 1.33, but this muzzle flash animation is only 1 second. So it's going to take 1.33 seconds before it spawns, so I need to set this to 0. Now I can see the muzzle flash. When I spin around, that's good. Okay, so under particle update, I'm going to press the plus button, and I'm going to get scale color, and I'm going to do uncheck scale RGB. Scale alpha, I'm going to press this button here. I want to look for curve. Curve. And then I'm going to press this button, these two arrows on the right, and it's going to give me these options, and I'm going to select the one, this one right here, which is it's like a reverse S, and that turns it into like a slope like this. And I don't know what the heck happened, but okay, there we go. So I'm going to copy and paste this emitter. This one is obviously the cone, so I'm going to rename it first to muzzle flash cone. In the mesh renderer, I have to change this to muzzle flash cone, and this muzzle flash material is going to be muzzle flash cone material. So now I have these two things that are overlapping. This one's going forward, and the other one's is creating like a thing at the back. Okay, so for both of these, for the muzzle cone, I need to go to initialize particle, and the mesh scale mode is different from the muzzle flash plane. So I need to change these values to 1.2, 1.2, 1.2 for all the min values, and for the max values I need 1.4 for all the max values. 1.4, 1.4, 1.4. Play around with these values. Yeah, 0.2 is good. Yeah, 0.2. Okay, in particle spawn, I'm gonna press the plus button. And I'm gonna look for initial mesh orientation. And here, under this mesh orientation mode, it's set to random. I'm going to set it to none. And then I'm going to check rotation. And then the values, press down. And I'm going to look for a random range vector. And these are all going to be, x is going to be 0, y is going to be -1, 1, and 0, 0 at the end. Okay, so for color, mode, I'm going to make sure it's set to direct set, and I'm going to change the values that he had was 50, 12, 2.5, and 1 for the alpha. And same thing with the plane. Make sure the color mode is set to direct set. And whoops. 50, 12, 2.5. That looks a little bit more like, I'm not sure if that's really a shotgun, but this is a game. I think my imagination is allowed a little bit, so I'm just gonna be playful with it. This looks a lot like the one that he made, but it's okay because I really like the look of it. So I'm just gonna save this. So what I need to do is I need to implement this now. So I'm gonna open up the clean character, the main character blueprint. Okay, so with the Clint open, I'm going to go into the viewport, and I'm going to select the mesh, and I'm going to temporarily put the animation mode to, I'll just use animation asset, and there's no animation asset applied. That's why it's in the Da Vinci pose, which is what I need right now, because the gun is pointed straight this way, and I want to put the particle right at the tip of the muzzle. So I'm going to add a Niagara particle system component, and it is going to be muzzle flash underscore ns. And we're going to top view. Front view. So because this is the forward, this muzzle, this Niagara particle system that I just created, the forward is probably this way, so I probably need to rotate it 90 degrees this way, so it's pointing so that the Y is this way. So with that positioned, I'm going to parent it to the wrist socket. So it's going to follow the wrist socket along with the gun. So if I go back to the mesh and go to animation mode and set it back to animation blueprint, as you can see, he's back in the regular animation, but if I select the muzzle flash, it's pointing down now, which is perfect. So if I specify the muzzle flash, it's pointing the wrong direction. I turn it 90 degrees. It makes no difference. Okay, I'm going to compile this. Okay, so it's actually pointing down the barrel of the muzzle, or down the barrel of the gun, sorry. The reason why is because I went back into the Blender file and I rotated everything, so everything's pointing down. So that's working, which is good. So what I need to do now is I need to set the visibility to untrue, and under basic inputs, when he shoots, I'm going to create a sequence. This will be, I'll drag the muzzle flash here, set visibility to true, copy paste, get a delay, of 1 second, and I'll set it to false, and I'll make sure that the target is muzzle flash. I'm going to press C to name it muzzle flash. So I'm really excited to see this. If I hit play, I don't see anything. I think the problem is the properties. Or is it particle state. Particle state. Emitter spawn. Emitter updates. Okay, one thing I forgot to do is under initial mesh orientation, originally when the mesh was pointing the other way, we set it to -1 and 1 in the y, but I'm going to set those to 0, and I'm going to set -1 and 1 to the z, so now it looks better. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to go to cleanpp. And basically what I did was, instead of using visibility, I used the activate to activate the muzzle flash. So I'm going to name this again muzzle flash. For some reason, under Niagara tick behavior, by default is used prereqs or something, but I changed it to force ticks, and for some reason this works. Auto activate is by default checked, but I unchecked it, and visibility is always visible. So now if I hit play, the muzzle flash still seems a little bit funny. It seems to work. If I point down, yeah, there's still a muzzle flash. So that seems to work. I don't fully understand what some of this stuff is. I don't know why auto activate has to be turned off, and I don't know what this force tick first is, but it seems to work. One thing that I would like to do before I wrap up is I want to create sound. So in the content folder, I'm going to right click and create a new folder. I'm going to call it sound, and I'm going to import my two sounds here. So I'll quickly save. So whenever he shoots, I'm gonna play sound allocation, I guess. Do play sound. This will be and I also need to make another one. So this is for shoot. And after 1 second, he pumps the gun. So I'm gonna do a sequence, play sound. This will be, oops, shotgun pump. This will be sound pump. So hopefully this works. I'll save everything first. So if I hit play, oops. Okay, the click clack needs to be, it's a delay of, let's see, 1 second. Let me try that once more. I gotta do something about this rotation because it's really sensitive. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Yep, so I think now that I've done the muzzle flash, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to work on next. I may work on some other stuff. There's other tutorials that I want to do with other projects, so I may take a pause with this project. So if there's anything else that you would like to see as far as this project, please don't hesitate to leave a comment. But right now, I think I've done enough with this project. There's other things I would like to cover, not just for Unreal, but also for Unity and Blender. And I would like to try other software that I haven't tried yet. But I do plan on coming back to Unreal. So if you don't see any more Unreal stuff and you want to see more Unreal stuff, please hang tight, or just leave a comment and just let me know what you would like to see. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and please keep an eye out for more videos.